What's good, y'all? About to talk about these fights happening this Saturday. Well, specifically the co-main event with Sanchez versus F.A. Ajagba, which is going to be on the undercard of Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 3. So let's talk about it. You know, right now I just got myself a sandwich that I made through an application on Subway, on the app to Subway, by the way. So I'm gonna start eating in a little while, so probably gonna keep this short. Let me see what I got here. It seems like they cut my sandwiches in two because I ordered a foot long, and it's like 900 something calories, 1,000 probably because of the meat that's on it, and the veggies, all that good stuff. So not gonna be too long on here. So let's break down the fight. So I was just watching Frank Sanchez's old fights with Joey DeWaco, this one guy, I don't know his name. I don't know his name, but he's like 6'5". And the reason why I wanted to watch that guy's fight, because I wanted to see like how Frank Sanchez deals with a guy that was like, you know, modern day standards of a heavyweight, the size, dimensions, all of that. And I didn't really get that much out of it, to be honest. Like I'm looking through his fights, and like there's hardly any besides, like in the lower ranks, like when he was fighting guys that were like 5 and 22, all of that other stuff. And there's not really that much I could get out of Frank Sanchez besides like the top fights that he's been in, with like I mentioned before. And that's all I really need to see of him. And I've come to the conclusion that he's a fighter that's very technical, but he has a lot of deficiencies. Not too many flaws, but deficiencies, because there's a difference between those two terms. And what he lacks is accuracy. And his accuracy is like all over the place. Like when I was seeing that fight with the 6'5" guy, I don't know his name, but I think it was an American heavyweight. And he was missing a lot of punches, like throughout the entire fight. And the only fight that showed his power to me, and of course, like his accuracy, well, on full display was Joey DeWaco, but Joey DeWaco doesn't really have that much good defense at all. You know what I mean? He's just a guy that just sits there in the pocket or like in the center of the ring the whole time. And I saw a little bit of Frank Sanchez's boxing ability, but I don't think that's what's going to come to play when fighting F.A. Ajagba, because I was also watching F.A. Ajagba's recent fights, and I've seen his fights before a lot more than I've seen Frank Sanchez, because F.A. at one point was like one of my top prospects, beside like Filip Hrgović, that was coming up at heavyweight. And when I was looking at F.A. Ajagba's last fight that everyone thought that he got quote unquote exposed in, it was against a Polish fighter from like cruiserweight. I forgot I know his name, but I can't really pronounce it. He really showed like some type of flaws, defensive flaws, of course, but I saw that he was very accurate, like he throws straight right hands, straights all perfectly, like it almost reminds me of Deontay Wilder a little bit. But the thing is, F.A. Ajagba like telegraphs that right hand. That's how he's able to get caught in the pocket during that moment in that fight where he got knocked down, so he has a lot of defensive deficiencies that he needs to capitalize on. So I think that in this camp, they're going to work on that, or they have already worked on it because it's already fight week, of course. But going down to the fight, of course, man, like without, going too much into detail about per every fight that they've been in, I think everyone's underestimating F.A. Ajagba because like F.A. has a lot of power, man. He has a lot of power in that right hand. And the thing with Frank Sanchez is he has decent power, but his accuracy, man, like it's not really like that much. It's longing to me. You know what I mean? Like when I see him like try to reach over for a FA Ajagba, I could see him getting caught real clean with a straight right hand, and I could see him going down at certain points of the fight. You know, so Frank Sanchez really needs to go to the body. You know, like I mean, he is with Team Reynoso, and of course they need to go to the body against a guy like F.A. Ajagba. But when I see Frank Sanchez, he doesn't really emulate that style that much as everyone wants to believe. You know what I mean? Like, I think the thing is, Team Reynoso is working on like not changing the entire fighter that Frank Sanchez started to be. You know, like when he was in the amateur system, but more so him. You know, like polishing him. Basically, that's what I'm trying to get at. So Frank Sanchez, like he's what you're seeing right now of him is what he is going to be like towards the end of his career. Because I think he's a lot older than 27 or something like that. You know what I mean? There's no way that this guy is like around my age, and neither is it F.A. Ajagba. You know what I mean? F.A. looks pretty old for his age, but not as old as Frank Sanchez. So I think the person that I'm going to go with is F.A. Ajagba, believe it or not, because I think he has a lot more room to improve, especially for a guy his size. And with that many dimensions, I mean, with that dimensions and his power, you know, like that's something you could work on, you know, like to make it, you know, a lot more of a refined version of like, let's say a Deontay Wilder or a modern day heavyweight period. You know what I mean? So I got F.A. Ajagba probably by mid-round stoppage because I could see Frank Sanchez missing a lot because F.A. I think is the one that's going to have improved defense for this fight. He's going to be in a tight guard, and I could see like Frank Sanchez like trying to reach for him, like missing a lot of shots, just like how in that fight he had with the American fighter that was 6'5". You know, like I think it's going to be a matter of dimensions and accuracy for F.A. Ajagba. You know, like he's definitely got to pop out his jab a lot because that jab, man, is very, very good. You know what I mean? Like I could see that actually pushing back Frank Sanchez, like from launching a lot of his combinations or whatever punch selection that he wants to land. You know what I mean? Because he has a lot of volume, but the thing is, like, he's not accurate, as I've said constantly throughout this entire video. So I got F.A. Ajagba, by the way, mid-round stoppage, and I think it might end up being a knockout if he lands that right hand very cleanly and like he starts to wear down Frank Sanchez. You know, as long as like he's going to land that jab to the body, you know, or like he counters, or not necessarily counter, but every time that Frank Sanchez wants to like come inside or something like that, all he has to do is really just step back and jab. You know what I mean? Like he already has a nasty 1-2 on him, but if he just like focuses on boxing, you know, like stepping back and jabbing and waiting for Frank Sanchez to land like that little flurry that he does and haymakers, then definitely, man, definitely got F.A. Ajagba by stoppage like in the mid round. So that's my prediction for this fight. I'm about to start eating right now. Let me know what y'all think. Great fights this Saturday, man. You know, especially the co-main event. That's what I'm looking forward to. That's why I deemed it worthy of a breakdown prediction video for this one. You know what I mean? So hope y'all have a good one and take care, especially in these times. Peace.